In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you exactly on how we wholesaled this house for $25,000 without having to use any of our own money, without having to fix up the property, without having to use real estate agents, and how to do this exact same strategy that we're teaching you guys right now. So if you guys are new to this channel, my name is Kyle Allen. What we do is we wholesale real estate here at the Hoffer Group. So if you guys are interested in learning more about investment opportunities that we have, if you guys are an investor that fix and flips houses, we have multiple markets that we find discounted properties just like this, because all of these deals that we're telling you about that we're wholesaling, we sell them off to investors. They make a profit to flip them, and that's exactly on what we find and specialize. And so in today's video, I'm going to walk you through a couple things talking about exactly this deal, how we got the deal, what was going on with the seller, how we ended up selling the deal to an investor, and then most importantly, how we got it to the closing table to get paid and obviously get that assignment fee. So if you guys are new here, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, throw a comment below. If you guys are interested in joining our disposition list, go ahead and reach out to us today at www.hoffergroup.com. I'm excited to chat with you. All right, let's talk about the deal, how we got it, where it is, all that type of stuff. And so the deal that we got was in Kansas City, Missouri. I don't live in Kansas City, Missouri. I actually live in Phoenix, Arizona. And so obviously we're a lot of ways away from there, but we did this all over the phone. And so I have an amazing team that I want to thank for all of the deals that we do. And this couldn't happen without Joey and Devin on my team. So shout out to Joey and Devin if you guys are watching this video. You guys crushed this deal, and I'm happy to share what we kind of did to obviously get it all done. And so first off, we basically found this seller. We have a cold calling service that what they're doing is they're calling through absentee owners, basically just trying to find anyone who's interested in selling their property at a discounted price. And so essentially we have hundreds of thousands of these calls going out. We then get the cream of the crop that comes into our CRM system. Then Joey was one of my sales guys on the floor. He picks up the phone, he starts having a conversation, and it takes time to obviously get these deals, especially at discounted prices that we want to make them work for our investors and for ourselves to make a healthy profit. And so we kind of keep working through this process. We start talking to the seller, figuring out why they want to sell, what's going on with the property, what's the condition, is there anything that we should kind of know that would help us to obviously make sure that we're making an educated purchase on our behalf. And so long story short, there's a lot of distress, there's a lot of just deferred maintenance with the property. And we kind of just went in there, we're like, okay, cool, we can solve all of these issues. Here's the exact cash price that we can offer you. And they ended up saying yes. And so you might be like, what do you do now, Kyle? You guys are in Phoenix, Arizona. The seller's in Kansas City. How are you going to get a contract over to them? So we use DocuSign. And so we basically get on the phone with them. We'll be talking to the seller, be like, cool, you got a purchase and sale agreement coming in your inbox right now. Open up your email. It's going to come from Kyle Allen on DocuSign. Then you open it up. You go through the contract with them, you read it. If they want to just hit sign, they'll go ahead and sign. If they feel uncomfortable, they have other questions, you kind of just sit on the phone, you work with them, and you go through all this. And mind you guys, this doesn't always happen on the first call. I don't know exactly how many calls Joey had to go through to obviously get that deal, but on most of our deals, we don't usually first call close. And so a lot of these deals, it's following back up because they thought that that offer was a lot lower than what they wanted to see. And they wanted obviously more money. Do you blame them? Wouldn't you ask for more money too? Eventually the follow-up is where we get a lot of these deals and a lot of these contracts to make big paydays like this one. And so we obviously were able to get that deal through the follow-up process and then get it under contract. So they sign it all on DocuSign. The next steps is we haven't even seen photos of the property. We have no idea what we're walking into. We're kind of just going off of the seller's word based off condition, what's going on, what they know about it. And like I said, a lot of these properties are absentee owner, so sometimes they know nothing, and that's honestly sometimes even better to get a deeper discount. And so when we were looking at the deal online, just kind of looking at the Google Street View, figuring out what investors were paying for in the area, we obviously went significantly below that so our investors can still buy a property at a price that actually makes sense for them, right? Because at the end of the day, I can't pay what my investors want to pay and then try to sell it to them for more. I'm not going to make any money. I've got to leave plenty of meat on the bone for my investors. And so we obviously were looking in the area. We were like, okay, most investors are paying around like 50, 60 grand for houses like this. Then we looked on the opposite side. We're like, hey, they'll probably fix it up, maybe sell it for $130,000, maybe $150,000 when it's all said and done. They fix it up and kind of go through their construction. And that's basically kind of how we were estimating what we need to buy this property for. So that's kind of part one of what we're doing on how we found the deal. Now I want to talk about part two, is how do you end up getting this deal sold with your disposition team. And so we basically put all the stuff together. We send out a person on our team to coordinate some times with the sellers to get photos of the property. And this is really important. They're getting photos of every single part of the exterior. They're getting a video of the exterior. Then they get photos of every room, multiple parts of the room on the interior. Then they're doing a video walkthrough as well for us. We then have an amazing website that we put all of our deals on. So if you're an investor, like I said, you guys can go get access to those deals on hoffergroup.com. Just sign up on our investor portal and select the markets that you're looking to receive them. Our team will reach out and share with you. And so Devin on our team was calling through a list of buyers that we have on Investor Lift, Investor Base, and I ended up obviously finding the buyer for this specific deal. They were looking to fix and flip it. They were going to get a construction loan to obviously do all the renovations. They had a lender lined up, all that type of stuff. And so they walked the property after we had all the photos. We shared all the details with them, and we were just calling and prospecting. And same thing with the seller side. On the disposition side, it takes hundreds of calls. You're talking to hundreds of different buyers. We're sending out thousands of text messages and emails to investors and buyers trying to get them to get eyes on this property. Some will say, hey, it's a pass for some reasons. Maybe it's the location that they don't like. Maybe it's what their buy box is entailing. Maybe it's just in general that they have too much going on with their construction and that they can't finish those projects if they buy something else. Or maybe sometimes it's just timing, right? And so Devin on our team was going through, calling through all these buyers, trying to find obviously a buyer on the deal. We end up contracting the deal, getting the buyer to submit earnest money to the title company that we're selling it with. The title company handles the transaction with the seller and then with our buyer. And then most importantly, they're making sure that our assignment fee, the $25,000, is cut at closing. And so long story short, we obviously get to the closing table, we get all the title commitments back, we make sure that everything's good. The investor can obviously close on the property, start fixing it up, and then get into that healthy deal on themselves. And so we get the property closed, we get a wire sent out to us for $25,000. And so this is all the fun stuff that obviously happens with wholesaling. Not every single day is a huge win. There's lots of days where you're grinding, you're following up, you're trying to obviously build all this rapport with sellers, you're trying to find the right buyer on the deal, and it just doesn't work out. And so a lot of these deals are all built off of follow-up, is all built off of our team's resilience to continue this process and know that what they're doing is going to eventually pay. And when it does, they're big paydays, and that's what I love about wholesaling real estate. So if you guys are thinking about getting started wholesaling, you guys want to obviously start doing deals, maybe you don't have the bandwidth to try to figure out all this business by yourself, and maybe you want to join a team that's been doing this for years and years and have closed hundreds of deals, I want to invite you guys to join and apply to the Hoffer Group. We're doing hundreds of deals every single year, and my job is to help you guys to go through so you can be like Joey and Devin on our team, who's closing transactions, making big commission checks, and getting deals to the finish line to help sellers and help their investors make some money. So if you guys are interested, go to our website. I'm going to drop a link below too as well. You guys can go to hoffergroup.com/careers, and you guys can apply on there. Go put your resume in. We only select absolute killers who know that they're gonna do super well inside this business. And so if that is you and you guys want to apply, go to hoffergroup.com/careers. I'd love to see you guys in there. If you guys just want to get access to more deals, make sure to sign up on our investor portal as well. And if you guys have a house that you guys need to get sold, you guys want a quick cash offer, make sure to obviously come see us. We'd love to help you out. A lot of times we wholesale these deals. Sometimes we'll be the end buyer and actually close on them and fund the deal, whether we fix and flip it or keep it for a rental, all the fun things in between. And so I appreciate you guys for watching this YouTube video. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone if you guys got some value out of today's video. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you guys soon.